Stop, talk, and walk. That's a three-part method created by Shawna Thomas-Cuffie to handle bullying, or as I call it, the Thomas-Cuffie method. Now, while children are home on vacation, it is an opportune time for parents to talk to them about bullying.
Well, you see, bullying is a real deep problem. Bullying is a serious problem. And what you have with children who are bullied, you have children who do not feel loved, feel accepted, feel wanted, and so. And, some children can speak up. Some children can digress that bully situation and be able to step forward. I generally, with clients who present with that, I would say things to them like, let us do the 3-step, right? I do it from pre-K come right up. And the 3-step would be things like stop, talk, and walk, right? Stop, talk, and walk.
It's like so stop, drop, and roll in the event of a fire.
Right, yes? Mm-hmm. So stop, talk, and then walk. So you stop and you acknowledge that this bully is saying something to me that is not good. Because if you walk first, you will not hear and know that there's a bullying situation going on. So you have to stop to acknowledge what is happening. When you acknowledge it, you talk. You say, cut it out, I don't like it. Are you trying to bully me? I'm not taking kindly to this, but there are different languages for different levels. So for the little people, is cut it out, I don't like it. Stop it now. As you get older, right, because that's the imperative, you could hear a little 5- and 6-year-old saying that to one of their peers that's bullying them because it's short, it's impactful, it hits it. As they grow older, we change the language so that they understand that their level of expression must be impactful enough to stop the bullying in their tracks, right? And the stop, talk, and you're not having a conversation with the bully. One sentence, imperative, command, and then you walk. What you walk to do, you go walk to tell an adult. That's what you're walking to do. So you're not standing there to engage with the bully. So stop, talk, walk method, right? And that is shared throughout. But parents must also, right, utilize resources. So I'll have a parent who after a year, 2 years, they say, I'm fed up. They've been bullying my child since when. And I would ask, what did you do? Well, we tell the school. I said, oh, that's all you did? Because this and that and the other. I said, but you could have engaged the child, because many a times we don't listen, right? You don't listen. You have to listen to that indeed and hear the feelings that come out. And as a parent, now you have that child. So while you wait, Sorana, on the teacher or the school system to do something, you have to ensure, right, that your child is empowered. You retalk self-esteem and self-worth thoughts and values. You redo a mental health plan of them in their minds. You make sure that they do the I ams, Let them do self-affirmations. Teach them that strong. Every day when they go to school, if your belief system is Christianity, you have a certain ritual. If it's spiritual Baptist, if it's Hindu, if it's Rastafarian, you have a certain ritual. Before your children leave the house, there are certain things you should do. Whether you lay hands on them and pray, whether if you're Catholic, Anglican, Methodist, whatever, you make the sign of the cross on them, whether it's holy water, whether it's oil, whether it's liquid soap, whatever thing you connect with, you must ensure that when that child leaves your portico, right, your doorway, they feel empowered to face the world. And you don't empower them just because of a bullying situation, you empower them for life.
The topic I'm looking at is transitioning your children from a different country to another country, read the education system.
Mhm.
What are some of the problems you foresee or you've encountered as a clinical psychologist, if you've had any students, children to deal with that issue?
Well, a lot of students move and they move for different reasons. Even in internal migration, where a child would move from a school from St. Patrick to St. George, or St. John to St. Patrick, or St. John to St. George, there are challenges. The challenges with transition and deals with expectations. Now, when a student leaves a place of familiarity, so school, community, friends, whatever is familiar, church, youth group, any familiar setting, it poses a sense of trepidation. So that's that level of anxiety where you say, I'm not sure what I'm going to get. I'm not sure what to expect. There is a pullback. Sometimes children go through separation anxiety because they're used to sitting under this plum tree or going in this person's yard, eating at a certain time. The routine is broken because the social environment has changed. So we have that internally as well, right? Then when you look at it regionally or internationally, it gets even more challenging. Many times some children move for sake of opportunity, and that's okay. It's okay to have that sense of, well, I want to do something different. I want my child to be exposed to something different. But at the same time, one of the challenges that exist is the fact that we must understand how to bring expectations and how to bring certain challenges in life.
You
So
say
we,
expectations. That's about the second time I'm hearing you speak using that word. When you say expectations,
yes.
what do you mean?
Well, expectations are explaining to the students what they can find, what are some things that they can encounter, what are some things that they can engage with. So the interaction, the engagement, and the encountering, are certain things. So expectations are clear-cut set ideals. You tell them what you expect of them with the change, but you also have to prepare them for the changes to come. And you prepare them by having talks, you prepare them by having open scenarios, even taking a real life field trip to the area, for example, the child is of a preschool age, where they are just beginning to form language. They're just beginning to express. In a time, Sorana, where you have child sexual assault, child sexual abuse on the rise, you have, and remember, a child is anybody under 21, really and truly. In some countries, 18 is an adult. But the definition of child, according to the Convention of the Rights of the Child, really is under 21, right? And that hasn't changed. So in an environment like that, you have to prepare your child or children not just for the academic or economic change and movement, but you have to prepare them too for what could happen, what is happening, and you give information. You do that by feeding them with information, right? You don't want to overwhelm them, you don't want to scare them, but you give them information. So you study the country, you study things about the country, and then you help them to plan. You help them to plan. So you know that this happens in this area, my school is there. When the school bus comes or anything comes, I must be on it. I have my phone cannot be used in the day. So by the time I get on the bus, I must be able to call my mom, my dad, or my guardian and say, I'm on the bus.
Okay.
So there are clear expectations where time, scheduling, routine, and safety.
When it comes to a point, okay, so you've prepared the child and there seems to be a level of understanding. However, reality hits and
Yeah.
that child is unable is having real trouble fitting in or being accepted within the new community, within the new school community, how should that be handled by the parent or teachers involved?
Right. So the receiving school should also have a program for transitioning. If you notice online, right, for people migrating to Canada, there are welcome centers, that would welcome new immigrants. There's a program there. Sarana, why do you think that program exists? Because there's an understanding that psychologically change is difficult. Adaptation is a challenge. So because of that, governments themselves worldwide and globally have taken in front to do that transitionary process through a unique way. So the Welcome Center would give you all the information you need on what to do, where to go, where to get services here and there. And in the new school system, students should indeed have an opportunity to do the same. So whether it's the family and engagement coordinator, the family and engagement or the guidance counselor, somebody in the new school system, right, that deals with family engagement or the psychoeducational services, right, should take up that role.
Okay. Now, Grenada's setting. We live here. What do we have? What don't we have? And what should be done?
Okay, so in our setting, we have a lot. What we have really going for us is the fact that we do have some of the friendliest people in the world, right? And that goes a long way. So even if a child switches parishes and they come, St. George's is very different from every other parish, but in St. George's, you have people who are indwellers in our parish from every parish across Grenada. So St. George's is not really a pure parish anymore because it's the city, because it's the central place where mercantilism, I know that's the old word, but I still use it. People say commerce, right? But on a large scale, we do have people from all over who would relocate into this urban parish for work, right? And in the relocation, everyone can find someone from another parish, and that's a plus. Okay, so it's not like a purity parish where it's only people born and raised in St. George's. People migrate here for different reasons, right? So that's what you call the internal migration. And because of that, Sarana, you have a cacophony, a mix-up of different people, different ideas, and people traversing through the city look out for students. They talk to students, and because of our friendliness and our caring nature, students generally, if somebody sees a child come off the bus and they cry, and they would ask, what happened to you? And the child, I don't want to go to school. And they say, nah, man, it's going to be nice today. Who's your teacher? And they start debriefing and decoding that child. I've seen this over and over and over and over almost every day. That helps. But in addition, right, our transitionary method must be carefully plotted out. Mm-hmm. And it has to be plotted out through a system where we understand what it is when somebody changes. So there is trauma, right? The anxiety could turn into trauma because there is change, and wherever there is change, Sarana, there is an opportunity for the mind to reset. Yes, so any system that the child goes into, I'm not going to be specific, but any system the child goes into must have a way for the child to embrace it.
Thank you for viewing Shawna Mitchell Worlds. Please like, comment, and share. I am Shawna Mitchell. Have a good one.